Good morning. Good morning. I'm not really sure if that'll stay and if it's sideways, but it don't matter. Good morning, Charity, Vicky. Two gracious designs. Oh my goodness. So excited you're here. Rocking the messy bun. Yeah. What happened? Oh my goodness. Well, let's see if we can just tie that back on in there. Oh dear. Come on. Long hair problems. Maybe that'll work. Oh no. Good morning. Y'all be so proud of me. I have been up since before 6:30. Look at me go. Look at me go. But I did go to bed super late, so, I probably really do be seeing a nap in my near future. But it's fine. It's fine. I got up. That's all that matters. I got up. That's all that matters. Oh, man. I forgot to plug my coffee warmer up. Been awake since 4. No thanks. Nope. I didn't go to bed till 1:30. My normal sleep pattern seems to be about 5 hours lately with an intermission in the middle of the day. Y'all, I gotta get my coffee warmer plugged up. But Steve's gotta take these kids to school. Maybe if I get it set up, he'll make his way down here and I'll be plug that up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Kimberly. Hey, Jessica. Intermissions are my favorite. Samesies. So I'm at the doctor's office doing coffee talk. Oh, I hope his doctor appointment turns out good. I'm still getting set up. Mornings are a little crazy now with kids going back to school because I got to make sure I get them up and get everything together for them. They pack their lunch, so they want their lunch packed. And make them breakfast. And then Steve is really great, so Steve will take them in the mornings. But I got to get them ready, every time. So, if I'm a couple minutes late, I'm so sorry. Oh, look, he's coming. He's coming. I knew it. I called it. Are you watching me? Yeah, you knew it. You knew it. Pull back that thing, please. Yeah, that besties and besties. All right, we are going to be back in Daniel. We're going to finish that up. I need to put me some Bible tabs on this thing.
I'm giving some girls stuff.
Do what?
I'm giving some girls stuff. What?
You're doing what? Oh, you're giving to, in your class?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because there's too much clothing.
We're going to finish up Daniel chapter 3. We're going to finish that up. I love you. It's a little crazy. I'm going to get all my stuff pulled up here. Give y'all time to get it open. Y'all, Haley, me and her were talking last night because neither of us go to bed till super late. And there are notebooks. Bible notebooks. And it's a notebook. That's the Bible. And on this side of the page, it is the Bible, right? You're reading from the Bible. And then on this side of the page, it's completely blank. I'm going to buy everyone. Everyone. She sent me that, and I'm over here I don't need to be spending extra money right now, but I'm about not care. About to order everybody. Those look awfully beautiful on my shelf. On my bookshelf. I'm going to do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy it. They're beautiful. And they're pretty cool. So, like, where I do a lot of teaching and stuff, I could use those and have my notes in there for teaching and journal with them. Like, I don't know. There is, like, so much opportunity for that. So much opportunity. I need that. Amazon. The whole, they're all on sale right now. Let's see. You can buy them individually for like $5 to $6 a piece. Or you can get the whole sets. All the New Testament set was $61. And all the Old Testament set, which is each one of them get their own individual book. Like each of them have their own individual book. But the Old Testament, every single one of them is... It was $105, and that's on sale. They're usually $200. So, rude. You can't spend extra money. You don't tell me what to do. Rude. I will spend the extra money if I want to. Where can we find it? I have a Bible, and I have to write on spare notebook. Get them on Amazon. I ordered one so I can show you guys, because I really don't want to order anything until we get moved to the new location. So I really don't want to order anything, because then you gotta move more, you know what I mean? But I might cave. I might do it anyway. Because they are such a good deal right now. They're on sale. And such a good deal. So I don't know what I'm going to do. But I will definitely be doing it. No, sir, you will not. You gave your freebie away when you spent $20 on a bin. That's a no for me. I find things on sale, and that's when I buy them. You be spending unnecessary money on unnecessary things. There's a big difference. Mine's Bible related. Spend what you want on Bible related. You ain't going to Harbor Freight. I'll have your card cut off. He's so funny. We have a revival. Is it right? Yes. I love that. Start his own Bible study group in today's first day. So I need all the tips and books. Good. Charity said, laugh my butt off. I have it cut off too. I had him banned on TikTok one time. I didn't mean to. But listen, let me tell you the story really quick. And then we're going to jump in and we're going to get started this morning. I didn't mean to. But like, he posted a video of me that I didn't like. It made me look bad. Like, it was like, he gets, you know, that like the husbands, like, they get the worst angles. We take the prettiest pictures of them, or the cutest pictures of them, and then when they take pictures of us, it's like, I mean, how'd that happen? Like, that don't look good. You know what I mean? Like, what in your mind made you think that looked good? And they take videos like that too. They get the worst possible angles. So I told him to take it down. And it also had like a sound on it that was like rude. And it was talking about a woman running her mouth. Was it funny? Yes. Did I want the video gone? Yes. So what did I do? I said, take it down. He said, what are you going to do? I said, I'll report it. He thought I was bluffing. And he said, do it. I did. I did not think they would cut off his like complete profile, but they did. They blocked that whole man. I died laughing. I said, test me again. We laughed so hard because I was like, I totally didn't mean to like shut down your whole TikTok, but I did. Don't test me again too. You know, look at him like, I told you I'd do it. But it was hilarious. So Steve had to make a completely new TikTok because, yeah, I banned him. I mean, this whole profile was just poof, gone. I died. Let's see. I got that one. The one she was just talking about. I don't know what it is called. My friend sent it to me. So when I get mine on Wednesday. So I'll share with you guys all the information on Coffee Talk on Thursday morning. And I might do a TikTok video on it. Okay, hope that was your funny for this morning. Gave you a little laugh. It's cold down here in this basement. Okay, so I hope that gave you a little laugh, and we're going to get started this morning. Are you ready? So we are in Daniel chapter 3, and last time we studied verses 9 through 19, or 9 through 18. We're starting on verse 19 today. And I want to go the rest of the way through because we just didn't get to some really important points that I really wanted to get to. All right. So what we know so far, right, is that we got three friends, all right? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is what we call them. And we had this king called Nebuchadnezzar, all right? He wanted them to worship these gold statues and all these things that he had placed out. And they were like, no, we're not doing that. And when they wouldn't, he said, well, I'm going to put you into you can definitely post your prayer request, and I will pray for you. And then he said, okay, see, I can't do more than one thing at one time. All right, so he wanted them to worship these gold statues, all right, that they've put up. And they said, no, they're not going to do that. They're not going to worship any statues. They're not going to worship anybody other than the other one true God, right? And that made him mad because he was very prideful. He wanted authority and all of these things, so that made him mad. So what did they do? One of our biggest points was they were bold. All right, they didn't need to defend themselves, but they made it real clear to the king that even if, all right, they said it's one of the best ones. It's one of the best verses right here in this, right? If the God we serve exists, then he can rescue us from the furnace of blazing fire, and he can rescue us from the power of you, the king. But even if he does not rescue us, we want you as the king to know that we will not serve your gods or worship the gold statue that you set up. I have no idea who, Bobby, are you talking about, I don't know what any reference you're making. So, even if, right, that's what we talked about last week. Even if, all right, God doesn't come through the way that you think and know he can. Even if he doesn't, all right, they're still not going to waver in their faith. And that was one of our really big takeaways, all right, from last time when we done our coffee talk, right? That even if he didn't show up, they knew God could rescue them. They knew that God could come through for them. They knew that he could. But even if he didn't, they wasn't going to waver. So last week we talked about that even if he doesn't, all right, type of faith. Even if he doesn't show up. Even if he doesn't come through the way that you think he's going to come through, he's going to come through at the exact right time, at the exact right manner, and he'll come in and he will do his will in your life. It's not about what you want for your life. It's what he wants for you, right? But then we got a couple of really great, all right, points to keep going. We need to get to the point where the raging flames, okay, killed the people who put him in there, right? It didn't kill them. They came out unburned on everything, right? But it killed the guards that put them inside. So sometimes the fire that you're going to walk into, the fire that you're going through, all right, is going to be to take care of your enemy. And then we keep going and we're going to see where the king, all right, sees 4 men in that fire. And because those 3 friends went into that fire and came back out, the king's heart was changed. So we're going to continue talking about today how sometimes the fire that you are going through in your life is, yes, it's for you. Yes, it will teach you something. Every fire that you go through in this life will teach you something, help you. It will change you. It will mold you into who God is calling you to be. All right? But sometimes going into the fire is to help those around you. Okay? It's to help those around you. It's to change the hearts of those who are watching you. right? So we are going to talk about those things today, and I'm so excited about them, so I need to get caught up down here on my commentary and find my verse 19 again, and let's try to hit all these points today so that Thursday, we can keep going. All right, let's see. All right, 19. So, I think we read it last time, but you know what? We're going to go ahead and reread it, all right? Just so that we have a good understanding of where we're at. So we're going to be in verse 19. Then Nebuchadnezzar was filled with rage, and the expression on his face changed toward Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He gave orders to heat the furnace 7 times more than was customary, right? And he commanded some of the best soldiers in his army to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and throw them into the furnace of a blazing fire. So these men in their trousers, robes, head coverings, and other clothes were tied up and thrown into the furnace of blazing fire. Since the king's command was so urgent and the furnace extremely hot, the raging flames were in Daniel 3. The raging flames killed those who carried Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego up. Ain't that crazy? And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell bound into the furnace of blazing fire. Right? We're on verse 24. Then the king Nebuchadnezzar jumped up in alarm and said to his advisors, "Didn't we throw 3 men bound into that fire?" You know what? I'm going to make my mark. Let's do that. Let's do that first verse right there. Let's do that 19 through 24. Yeah, first. All right, let's read some of our commentaries. It helps to break it down. So good morning. All right, no matter how brave Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were, facing the fury of the king was still extremely intimidating. We get the feeling that prior to their statement, Nebuchadnezzar spoke kindly, almost in a fatherly manner, towards these boys. After hearing their bold challenge, the expression on his face changed. Right? So they were intimidated and yet still stood up. That goes with some of our notes from last time about them being bold. Everything was done to make sure that the 3 Hebrew men were quickly and completely burned. So listen, their circumstance, what did that look like? What did their circumstance look like? Yes, I literally take y'all through my Bible journaling process when I do things. I is going to have to use this. I wish I had a different Sharpie. Because I don't have no more room. I got more room. This is one of my favorite stories in the Bible too. Tell me, what their circumstances look like. We just learned. I just read some of it off of Enduring Word, but I've also read it on here. Their circumstance, right? They heated the furnace 7 times more than was customary, right? Bound them up, all right? And threw them in. So, what did their circumstances look like? It says right here, everything was done to make sure that these 3 men, all right, quickly and completely burned. Okay? Coffee and Bible in the morning. Nothing comes close to a great morning. Yes, I agree. I love it. All right, so I need a different marker because mine's going out. I'm not going to be able to use this. Mine be going out. Ain't going to do it for me. Let's do this. All right. So, I'm writing their circumstance. Somebody said impossible. They wanted them dead quickly. Dire and hopeless. I love that. Good morning. I could really use my own Steve to get me coffee. I love that, Lenny. Listen, you can come here and my hubby will make you some coffee. He's like literally the best. All right, somebody said impossible. Steve is literally the best. Like, usually, even if we have guests over, he makes their coffee too. Like, if he's up making our coffee, he'll make their coffee. Like, he's just the best. Dire and hopeless. I love that. So impossible. Hopeless. Let's see. Dark and impossible. They were going to die. Yes. Hopeless. Okay. So I like that dark though. Doesn't that resemble how we start to feel when life circumstances come against us? Our circumstances may not look like a Nebuchadnezzar and a fiery furnace, but sometimes it does. It just looks differently than that, right? It gets dark for us. In our minds, in our depression, and in our anxiety, it gets hopeless for us. Sometimes we don't see a way out. We have no idea how we're going to get out of this circumstance that maybe we have got ourselves in or God has put us in. Sometimes it seems like what we are up against is impossible. Right? So yes, we're reading this story and we're seeing how their circumstances are impossible. But I don't know about you, but I've walked through a fire. Overwhelming. I love it. Each and every single one of us has walked through a fiery furnace all on our own. Feeling like giving up. Yep. Exhausted. I love it. You know that probably was. They either knew God was going to come through or they were going to die. Listen, we're human. We have feelings and God knows that. God knows that. He knows we are not supposed to live by our feelings, but God is extremely clear, all right, that we have feelings and He knows we do, all right? He understands that we do, all right? So, it don't talk really much about how they felt. But I mean, can't we imagine? Because they just taken this humongous stand for God. They said, I love their response. If the God we serve exists, then He'll rescue us. But even if He doesn't, we still will not serve you and your gods. I love it. They took a bold stance. But that meant getting bound and thrown into a fire when circumstances were already stacked against them. Okay? You know they had feelings. Terrifying would be really good because it's not that they didn't trust God to come through. It's just you never know what comes going to be in God's will. You never know, all right, friend? You never know, all right, what is going to come. You don't know God's will. You just hope that everything you do is in God's will for your life. And you give every single bit of that over to Him. If it's in your will, I'll do it. If it's in your will, you send me. If it's in your will, I'll stand up, right? But we don't know exactly what the end result of that is going to look like until we get there. So you know they were terrified because all the odds were stacked against them. Everybody else knew that these three friends were getting ready to be toast. Okay, ashes, dust, gone, gone, gone. All right, everybody looking in said they're going to be gone. And the situation seemed impossible, right? I think my little one piece I fixed is going to start falling. So let's see. All right, so that was my note. Their circumstance seemed impossible, dire, hopeless, dark, overwhelming. You can add any more that you would like to add, right? And then we are going to put that in our Bible. We're going to give it a color. I'm trying to figure out, I need to use blue here. Took a leap of faith, and now I've been standing still for 8 months waiting. I'm exhausted. Listen, friends, sometimes your waiting period is needed. Too many people want to skip over the waiting period. I am almost positive, okay, that these three friends did not, in fact, want to be through into that fire. But see, even when they got through into that fire, it was a waiting period. We got through in. Now, is God going to come through? Is God going to show up? How's he going to handle this situation? How does this situation fit into his will? So sometimes the waiting season, man, it's hard. Sometimes it's really hard. And you don't understand why you're having to wait for so long. But I love that. Worship while you wait. Yes, ma'am. God is working during your waiting season. God is building you, changing you, building your character. And sometimes it depends on how you react to that waiting season. Okay? Sometimes it completely depends on what your reaction is to that waiting season. During the waiting, are you worshiping and praying and knowing that help is on the way? God is on the way. Or are you letting the enemy come in and tell you the lies that he wants you to believe? Right? I want to tell you something too. I like how you said sometimes you learn the most in the waiting period. Now that when I'm in the waiting, I've been in the waiting a lot. I was going to tell y'all that. I've been in the waiting a lot in the past 3 years. And do I not like it? Right. I don't really like waiting. I'm impatient. You know what I'm saying? But I would not trade anything for those waiting seasons. Because they taught me so much about the glory of the Father. And the longer he makes you wait, friends, the more you are willing to give glory to him when it comes time to pass. Right? And you know it's God. And you know it's him showing up. Right? And I get it can be exhausting. But my advice to you, I think we should do a study about what we should do when we wait. But my biggest advice to you is worship in the waiting. Find your joy in the waiting. Okay? I don't know what you're waiting for, but I want you to know that whatever it is, it will bring you happiness for a moment. A couple months, maybe. But we're human, and the devil walks among this earth. And in a short amount of time, your mind's going to change again, because that's how we are. So when you can start learning how to be happy right where you are, if you can start learning how to be excited right where you are, okay, you got to start learning how to be okay and be happy in Christ right where you are. Because even if, okay, he never shows up how you want him to, you're going to worship him anyway. Right? The waiting period can be so hard because as humans, we let our emotions take over. But see, we're not supposed to live by our feelings. But that takes training to be able to do. It takes self-discipline and training to be able to do. And I'm selfish. You're not being selfish, and he understands that you're human. Just praise him in the waiting, girlfriend. Worship him in the waiting. Holly, praise him in the waiting. Yes. The waiting is not easy. I've learned so much in the waiting. Me too. Have community. I can pray for you when you don't have the words of strength. Yes. Listen, and when you don't have the words of strength to pray, what do you say? What do you say? There's a song that teaches it. When you don't have the words or the strength to say, what do you say? Praying for you, Maddie. Just say Jesus. Yes. Just say Jesus. When you don't have the words to say, I want to encourage you and promise you that God knows how you feel. He knows how you feel. He knows what you want. He knows your deepest desires. He knows how you want him to come through for you. He knows every bit of what you're going through and how you want him to show up. Let's see here. Listen, I need Steve back. Okay. How does this work? Aha! I figured it out. Lord, here we go. Yeah, well, you know what? I really won't delete it. I'll tell you something. Zero proof of a God, right? I don't believe that. And I'm living proof that he's real. So I encourage you to have your own opinion. And I encourage you to say what you want to say. But nobody will ever waver my faith. All right? So you can say it, but I'll defend it. All right? And you can say it, but I'll defend it. Because there is just definite reasons, that my testimony is great. There's no doubt he's real in my life. And people can see him in my life. And the absolute only reason that people would say they couldn't is because they're being deceived by Satan himself, who comes to lie, steal, and deceive. He comes to lie to you, okay, about who God is. Deceive you that God isn't real, all right? And steal your soul, all right? That's what he comes to do. And there's evidence all around me that God is real. And you too. But you got to be willing to look at it. Am I on no one can argue with your personal testimony? Yeah, nobody. He is real. He brought me out of a band. I didn't even put one foot. Yep. I can also prove he's real. I love it. April, I don't do this every morning. I do it on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday mornings at 7:30 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. You know that you know. Yes. I love that, Laura. God healed me of cancer and gave me a baby. I love that. Yes, I love that. Listen. Adrian, it's Sunday morning. I've changed it to Sunday morning. Okay, I got to highlight this. So we took our note. The circumstance, all right, seemed impossible, dire, hopeless, dark, and overwhelming, right? I would never be able to have it. I love that. I thought that was what you were going to finish saying. I love that. That is amazing, girlfriend. Yes, they're even in this dark world. Listen, even in this dark world, even with Satan walking among this everything, listen, I don't care. If you will look, you will see. But again, Satan deceives. I will look and see Jesus, and you will look and not. Because he deceives. He's got you blinded, and you have to fight him off first. You have to fight him off first. But I can't. Because my husband posted, I made a post on Facebook 3 years ago. And it went viral. And as far as I'm anything ever like that, it was a turning point in my life. Like, not the viral video, but it signified a turning point in my life. And I say that because my life started changing afterwards. And it was, I moved into this 800 square foot trailer. It was a single wide trailer. There's nothing wrong living in a single wide trailer, right? And nothing wrong with it at all. And I moved into that house because I was a single mother, and I knew that I could absolutely take care of my kids in that house with a $400 rent. I knew I could make it. I knew that I could provide for them in that house. That house didn't have doors. That house had a busted window. It didn't have AC. You had to use window units. Okay, whatever. I don't care, right? It was good for us. I went in that house. I painted it. I cleaned it. I got it organized. I made that trailer a home. People would walk in and they would be like, wow, like, this feels so homey. And I said, ain't nothing a little bit of DIY and paint can't take care of, my friends. Ain't nothing. And people loved that house. And I met God in that house. And then the best part about it, though, I had somebody comment on that. It came back up on my feed, right? And Steve was looking at the comments. He likes to do that every once in a while. And somebody said, I'm just curious. I want to know where you're at today. And Steve posted a picture of the house we live in right now. And that moment humbled me. That moment humbled me so much, and I just almost started crying, and I done a Facebook Live on it, and like this was before TikTok and all of those things. That humbled me, okay? But then, me and Steve looked at a couple of houses, right? And we thought the first one was it. And I was like, it might be, you know, it was a little small or whatever, but it was good. Like, I wanted to go smaller, but I was like, I don't know, is business going to be good here? And, you know, we were going back and forth. Well, God said no. And I said, praise you, Lord. Praise you, Lord, for that no. Because the house we are getting ready to be in ain't only beautiful, but it's exactly what Purpose of Hope needs. And it's exactly what we need. And it almost looks like this home that we live in right now. I mean, it looks so similar. And that just fills me up, all right, with so many emotions. It just fills me right on up. To the point that I could cry every time I think about it. Y'all don't even, if I go MIA for 4 days, it's because I'm crying. Like, be right back. Because when I walk into that house and it's ours and we bought this and we done this, and you know how we did it? Because of God. Because of God. Because in 3 years, He took me from an 800 square foot trailer to a beautiful brick home. 3 years. 3. And it's going to be different from everybody, but it took me 3. And it took me 2 years. I was 2 years in the waiting. Like, I need y'all to understand that. I was 2 years in the waiting. Looking at homes used to make me mad as ever. I used to, I didn't like, I got so mad. Like, wow, we ain't never going to get to buy one. You know, I used to say that. Lord forgive me for ever saying it, because it was always in your time, right? But listen, I used to be like that. I used to think we're never going to get to own one anyway. It doesn't even matter, right? I used to be bitter about it because Satan made me be bitter about it, right? And now it took me 2 years in the waiting, 2 years of building a business that seemed like it wasn't moving at all. 2 years of waking up every day and saying, God, just one person. Let me help one person today. One person. 2 years of barely making it. My husband used to work all the time. He wasn't ever home. 2 years. And listen, the dream that God gave me of running a successful business come to me a decade ago. A decade. I spent a decade in the waiting, okay, for what I knew was a vision on my life. So listen. It took me 2 years in the waiting when I started this particular business and started doing it to glorify God. But God gave me the vision of what my family was supposed to look like 10 years ago. So I've been 10 years in the wait. 10 years. And now we are a full-time stay-at-home family, and we traded working 40 hours a week to 24/7, but I wouldn't trade it for nothing, because only God can do that. And then we went 2 years in the waiting, and then all of a sudden everything started falling into place. The husband came home, things were going great. 2 years. And then a couple months later we was buying a house. and God funded every bit of it. Every bit of it. So listen, sometimes that waiting may look like a decade. But I just want to promise you right now, when he moves in your life, he's going to move so drastically. It's going to be noticed by everybody around you, because there would be no other way. Everybody, when I pray, I shared this with our mentorship last night. When I pray, I do it, or when I'm praying for something, I got a fly flying around. Oh, I hit it. Now, if only I had Charity's thing. When I pray for something, I let him know, Lord, I really hope we don't run into any issues. I really hope that this is going to be a smooth transition. That's what I say. And then I say, but Lord, make sure however you do it, there's no denying you were in it. Okay? Make sure. I would love it to be easy. I would love it not to be really hard. I would love it for it to be simple and a smooth process. But Lord, however you do this for me, make sure you do it in a way that they only see you. All right? Point them to you. Do it in only a way that your will is done, and that everybody involved in this process will look towards you. Right? So I don't pray for things to be easy for me. I pray for however they happen for God to be noticed. And it be undeniable that he was in the middle of it. Right? Just like right here in our reading. Their circumstance seemed impossible. It was dark. It was hopeless. It was overwhelming. All right? They had to wait. Is God going to come through? Are we dying today? Like what? Which one's going to be? We don't know yet. Right? But man, don't we see it? They got thrown into that fire. And 4 ended up inside. So I want you to know that when you are walking, all right, through the fire, all right, he'll meet you inside. Okay? He's going to meet you inside. And he'll bring you out. And he's going to do it in a way where it's undeniable that he was involved. Because they wasn't even burned or scorched. But the men who threw them in, ash. Okay? But they wasn't. Ain't that good? There was a comment I wanted to see. I love that. I want to write a book to honor my son that was murdered last year. I bet that would be a beautiful book. And my advice to you is, if you feel like that is a calling on your life, write the book. And then when the book don't take off the first time, try again. And if it don't take off the second time, try again. Because nothing in this life worth having will be easy. Nothing. The devil will fight you all the way through. All right? All the way through. But recite God's promises as you're going about it. Definitely praying for you, Laura. I know those things can take forever, but God's timing is perfect. Suzette, I love you so big, girlfriend. Jennifer. We are praying for you, girlfriend, and you can get as close to God as you want to. You just got to try. I needed that, even though you're talking about her book, been trying for a baby for 2 years. Now keep trying. That applies to everything in your life. Everything in your life. Okay, everything. So when it seems too hard, listen. Oh, the donut, that's so cute. Listen. When it seems like it's not going to happen and when it's too hard, pray. Lord, the waiting season is hard. And I know you already know how I feel. But even if you don't do this for me, I will still worship you. And if you do decide that it is in your will to have this for me, do it in a way that all the glory goes to you. That everybody realizes it's you. And that there'll be no denying you are real. That is what I pray over the things in my life. This is an illustrating Bible. We're trying to Bible journal, but we only got one note today, I do believe. All right, what I'm doing is my note said, the circumstances seemed impossible, hopeless, dark, overwhelming. So I'm taking my blue highlighter and I am going to highlight their circumstances. If I said it again, I wouldn't say it the same, but it was, how'd I say it? I'll never be able to say it the same, but here's the things. Here's you some little bullet points so that you could say your own prayer and make it your own. Lord, you know how I feel. You know how I feel. And you can add in how you're feeling, even though he knows how you're feeling. You know I want this for my life. Okay? But even if you don't, I will still worship you. And if you decide that it's in your will for my life, do it in a way that nobody can deny you are real. All right? That was the gist of it. This is an illustrating Bible, and yes, the pages are thick and strong. All right, so they were tied up and throw them into the blazing fire. They were tied up and thrown into the furnace. It was extremely hot. And then they got thrown in, right? And then they got thrown in. It's 8:20. Y'all, we ain't got nothing this time. I thought we was going to finish today. Look at us. Okay. Hold on. Ooh, that's a good one. All right. I wonder if Steve's back yet. And if he is, I need more coffee. I assumed if he was, I'd hear footsteps. Okay. Ouch. All right. Here we go. Some good stuff right here. All right, let's read this really quick. Let's see. 24. The king Nebuchadnezzar jumped up in alarm. He said to his advisors, "Didn't we throw 3 men bound into that fire?" "Yes, of course, your majesty," they replied to the king. He exclaimed, "Look, I see 4 men, not tied, walking around in the fire unharmed, and the fourth looks like a son of the gods." Listen, Rachel, I am definitely, you came in there when you got back. Well, I forgot already. Rachel, I am so sorry for your loss. I don't know how it feels to lose that many people all at once, I would say. But I did lose my grandmother and my husband, my late husband, 1 year apart. So I can only imagine how you feel. But I want you to know that God will comfort. He will. Yeah, Steve Irvin, she needs coffee. I forgot that you had come in here. That's my bad. That's my bad. I forgot.
Unnoticeable?
Mm-mm.
Was you in the zone?
I was in the zone.
You was in the God zone?
I was in the God zone, yeah. You the bestest, bestest. Yeah, we're gonna have to fight a couple of flies. Alright. I'll tell you what. Okay. Let's see. Let's read some of these notes. It was astonishing that anyone survived for a moment inside the furnace when others perished at the door. Oh, buddy, that's so good. That's so good. Oscar, stop. All right, let's see. The Nebuchadnezzar's attention was caught when he heard the men singing praises in the furnace. 3:24. Wait a minute now. Quit. Oscar. Not really sure where we're getting that at, but this is a Bible scholar's view on it. He says in Daniel 3:24, Nebuchadnezzar's attention was caught when he heard the men singing praises in the furnace. Do I think that that's a good lesson? Absolutely. Worshiping in the moment, like worshiping in the waiting, right? Worshiping in the fire. I love that. Don't exactly know that it might be a different, let's see what the New King James Version says. Yeah, I don't know where they got like the evidence that they were singing and praising, but we can imagine and hope that they were. It might be somewhere else in the word. It could be something else, somewhere else in the word as far as referencing. We just have to look it up. But we can just assume at this moment that that's what they were doing. Let's see. Nebuchadnezzar tells who the 4th person was, the Son of God. Jesus was literally with them in the worst of their trial. Yes. All right, that's the note. Jesus was with them when all seemed lost. And I'm going to put a little slash. Sorry. With them in the worst of it. All right. It went a flying. Jesus was with them when all seemed lost and was with them during the worst of it. Hey, Hannah and Katie. Yes, I'll show my Bible at the end. I start my Bible studies at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 7:30. All right, so I'm going to highlight that first of all. And we're also going to highlight verse 25. Look, I see 4 men not tied, walking around unarmed, and the 4th looks like the Son of God. He was the Son of God. Amen. Yes. And then it says, I love this. So one of the Bible scholars and their little notes, so this looks like a whole bunch of Bible scholar notes, but observed that God's people are often in the furnace. And though there are different kinds of furnaces, they're very similar purposes in our life. Listen, we just talked about this. We just talked about this at the beginning, right? There is a furnace that a man prepares. There is furnace that Satan prepares. And there's a furnace that God prepares. God can deliver us from a trial, or he can miraculously sustain and strengthen us in a trial. I love it. Nebuchadnezzar also observed that the 4 men were free in the fire. The fire only burnt the ropes that bound the men. Listen, like Jesus came to die on the cross to take away our chains. Listen, oh yes, he freed them, even in the trial, even in the fire. He freed them. Good morning. He freed them. Man, that's good. He freed them. Y'all could take that note if you wanted to. I want to try to get to this one part, but I know it's almost 8:30, but it's okay. It's okay. We're going to keep going. Let's finish reading these last couple of verses. I just want to get to this main part right here that I like. Nebuchadnezzar then approached the door of the furnace of blazing fire and called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Your servant of the Most High God, come out. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out of the fire. When the satraps, prefects, governors, and the king of advisors gathered around, they saw that I lost my place. The fire had no effect on the bodies of these men. Not the hair on their heads was signed. Their robes were unaffected, and there was no smell of fire on them. Nebuchadnezzar explained, praise to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He sent his angel and rescued his servants who trusted in him. They violated the king's command and risked their life rather than serving or worshiping any God except their own God. Therefore, I issue a decree that anyone of any people, nation, or language who says anything offensive against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego will be torn limb from limb, and his house made a garbage dump. For there are no other God who is able to deliver like this. Then the king rewarded Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the provisions of Babylon. Listen, I love it. Oh gosh, I love it so much. They even got rewarded. That's a note. That's a note. They even got a reward at the end. Listen here. Listen. All right. They even got a reward at the end. Goes with the very last, it goes with the very last, verse. Laura, it's not about being smart about the Bible. It's about learning it every single day. 3 years ago, I was not able to do what I do today. Studying the Word changed me, and studying it will change you as well. And you have to learn how to live by facts and God's promises and not feelings. And it's a hard transition, but the Bible will teach you how to do so. And it will be hard, but like Hannah said, we just have to stay faithful. All right, let's read these really quick. Are y'all ready? All right, I got another note. All right. They went through the fire. Yeah. To help God get to the king. So they had to go through a fire to help God get to the king. Man, that's good. Man, that's good. I love this stuff. And that will be highlighted with, let's see. "28. Praise to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego." Listen, these men whose bodies were on fire had no power. I love it. I love it. We're going to have another note right here. We're going to have another note right here. All right, hold on. Verse 20. The trial had no power over these men because they submitted to the power and will of God. I love it. Jesus hadn't come yet. This was before Jesus, right? And it says, but they knew the truth of Jesus' promise when he says in John 16:33, "In a world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer, because I have overcome the world." Like, oh my gosh. There's so many good. I love that too. We got to make. I'm gonna go. I've read that verse multiple times, but see, when you read it at certain times, it hits different. It hits in there. They can go back and watch the video, but they want the notes. I have a She Reads Truth too. I love it. The membership is I help people study the Word. And yes, what Holly said. I make digital downloads to help you study the Bible and study the Word. And those are in there. There's just a whole bunch of great things in there. You are welcome to go to my website. Click on the profile, link in my bio. It's or purposehope.com if my link happens to not be there because TikTok's crazy. And you can read everything that you get and all of these things. So you can go check that out if you want to. Hi. Okay. All right, listen. Let's see. All right. We got to write that down. Their trial had no power over them. Because Jesus, well, God, Jesus hadn't come yet. I'm doing the New Testament too right now with our mentorship. Okay. We're going to pick God. I mean, they're the same part, but still. Okay. All right. They're not a hair on their head. And their robes were unaffected, and there was no smell of fire on them. And here's their scholar notes. I'll read them to you really quick. Sorry, it froze. Oh, man, I didn't know. Are we still freezing? Their trial. Is it better? Is it better yet?
It's freezing.
My Wi-Fi just randomly cut off. Like, what that be? I mean, it is really gloomy outside, but what that be? Okay, we're better. So the last note was their trial was had no power over them because God was with them. We would love to have you in there and help you learn how to fight everything Satan's going to throw at you, girlfriend. Yes, Kimberly. Yes, I love that. I really hope this video saves for my coffee talk because this was a good video. And usually when the internet cuts off and on like that, it messes it up. All right, the mentorship is $25 a month. That pays for your digital downloads. I just joined Saturday, and I am very well enjoying it. Oh, thank you. I really hope it saves. Oh, I'm so glad y'all have learned so much and are loving it. Worth every penny. Oh, it's so sweet. Okay, let's finish. Let's finish, y'all, the bestest and the zestest. Y'all, we're so sweet. Okay. The whole account illustrates, perhaps, the future of Israel during the Great Tribulation. I do a live on TikTok Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sunday mornings at 7:30 a.m. And then I'm live in my mentorship group Monday nights and Thursday nights. And then I do random lives throughout the week on TikTok, you know, packaging orders and doing giveaways and stuff like that. I'm live all the time. All the time. Pretty much. All the time. And then, let's see, especially when you're in the mentorship group. And then I post digital downloads to my mentorship group, Tuesdays and Thursdays. They actually get a digital download today. And if you want a sample of what that looks like, then you can go to my website. I sell those digital downloads by themselves. So you have the option to just get those. The $25 a month for the membership is, I teach you in there twice a week. We do lessons. We do Bible journaling. We read the Bible together. Right now, we have been operating for 2 months now, maybe a little bit longer. And, we're going through the Gospels. We're in John right now. You get digital downloads, 2 a week, 2 lives a week, 2 digital downloads a week, chats. We operate in our own app. You get a 15% off monthly coupon. There are some members in that membership. You know who you are. Like, they're going to be laughing. They get their $25 well worth it in discounts alone because they be ordering all the time. I love them so much. But there's that. You get early access. There's a lot. If you just want to click on the profile, go to purposehope.com. See if it's for you. It breaks it down. If it is, great. If not, I understand. And basically what you're paying for, though, is those digital downloads. If you bought all of them, you'd pay well over $25 a month because I post so many. I make so many. Y'all are so sweet. Katie, she said, like me. I can name a couple others, girl. You ain't the only one. Okay, let's see. Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, so they were saying Nebuchadnezzar is like the Antichrist who forces the whole world into one religion of... I don't know how to say that word, but he's going to force them all into one religion, okay? And then his image is like the image described in Revelation 13, that the whole world will be commanded to worship. The furnace of fire is like the Great Tribulation, which will be affliction for the Jews. And the 3 Hebrew men are like Israel, who will be preserved through the tribulation. I like that. I like it. I like it a lot, where they're getting their references. All right, and here's my favorite part because it's 8:44. Y'all, we got to get started for the day. All right, here's one of my favorite parts. Verse 28, right? Nebuchadnezzar explained, praise the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He sent his angels and rescued his servants who trusted in him. They violated the king's command and risked their lives rather than serve or worship any gods except their own, right? All right. Nebuchadnezzar gave glory to God, but he recognized that this God is not his God. He is still the God of these three brave men. So in Daniel 3:15, Nebuchadnezzar asked, who is the God who will deliver you from my hands? Now Nebuchadnezzar knew a great deal about this God, right? He is the God of the Hebrews. He is the God who sends a Savior. He is a God of great power. He is a God worthy of trust. He is a God worthy of full surrender. He is a God who demands exclusive allegiance. Nebuchadnezzar knew a lot about God, and yet he still didn't know him personally. Yielded their bodies. Let's see. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego surrendered themselves completely to God. Body, soul, and spirit. It was the kind of submission Paul wrote of in Romans 12:1. Present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. I love it. I love it. That nothing evil should be said. Let's see. Seeing God at work in life of his people was an extremely effective testimony to Nebuchadnezzar. So that's how I'm going to write it. So these three men became a testimony to the king. But we don't know if he changed his heart, but we know that that he now knew that God was real. See, people can see God and know that he's real and see it through other people, and yet still not come to him. Yep, I like that. A lot of Daniel in Revelation. Renee, thank you, girlfriend. Have a good day, Kimberly. I hope y'all have an amazing morning and school day and all the things. So I put, these three men became a testimony for the king. Let's see. And I think I need to use just pink. All right. I'm going to highlight that with, it's the last part of 8 and the first, or 28 and the first part of 29. He sent his angel to rescue servants who trusted in him. They violated the king's command and risked their life, did not serve any god but their own. And I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to go to where it says, there is no other God who is able to deliver like this. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite stories. Look, somebody said, hey, there's the hubby. Hey, Kelsey's hubby. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It said, hey, there's the hubby. Hey, Kelsey's hubby. All right, you guys, that is it for today. I have no idea where we will be on Thursday. But here's what mine looks like when it's done. That is what mine looks like when it's done. All you membership people, I have a digital download coming for y'all in a little bit. And I hope that y'all like the new layout. We're going to talk about it when I post it. But I'm going to clean up my office and get ready. We have one of our people that work here is going to be here in just a little bit. And I got to get her set up for the day so that I can get other things done as well. Y'all, we still got to run business and do all kinds of things and pack our home, sell things in our home. We have lots and lots to do. That is an illustrating Bible from Dayspring. Yay! Here's their tote. Here it do be. Y'all want to see it before I get off here? This is the tote. It is beautiful. It's got a pocket here. A pocket here. So much space. Let me just prove it to you. Hold on. Put that on in there. Put that on in here. We'll just say this is my planner for right now. Even though it's not, but one of them is on there. I might would have turned it around, but I mean, put that on in here. And if I shut my computer, I bet this will slide in too. Give me a moment. Listen, I be carrying all this upstairs. I mean, I usually wouldn't pack it that full, but look at it. And here's the best part. Ain't that great? I love this thing. And then, I'll show you. Let's get everything out of here. It unzips fully. It's got your little thingy, my bobs, like your little pieces. I haven't took them off yet. Oh, look. It's got some little places for your stuff, and it's got another pocket. I got a pen in here. Look at my pen. My friend sent it to me. Are you still on here, girlfriend? I be loving this pen. Ain't it pretty? Hopefully she's still on here and she'll comment. And then it zips right back up. Julianne is who sent it to me. My pen. But yes. So there it do be. So, you click on the profile if you want to pre-order it. I've seen somebody ask that question. Go to the link in my bio, Purpose of Hope. If that happens to not be there, what are you doing? Where'd you make those with? Where was the highlighters?
The ones up here.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sounds good. If it happens to not be there because TikTok be a little crazy sometimes, just go to your web browser and type in purposeofhope.com. This is on the front page, and it is a pre-order. And it will be ordered within a week. I do a pre-order, so they get ordered every Tuesday, and then they are usually in within a couple of days, and then they immediately go out. All right, it's almost 9 o'clock. I hope y'all have an awesome day. Thank y'all for joining me and all of the things. And if y'all need anything, I'm always here. But I love you guys so big. I hope it was good for you this morning. Have the best day. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.